All good.
Yeah, thanks,
What
Scott.
what what
For yeah,
what time is it there?
the time is 9:23 p.m.
Okay, it's seven. Oh, it's almost 8 o'clock here. So in the
morning.
morning. Mhm.
So, firstly, I want to thank you for giving me opportunity to talk with you.
Oh, thank you.
So, I saw your art. It is fantastic. So, I thought to tell about your art to my audience.
Okay, for sure.
So, can
What
you?
would you like to know?
So, I will ask you one by one. So, before that, can you please introduce yourself to my audience?
Sure. I'm Scott Dewis. I'm from Victoria, BC, Canada. I'm an entrepreneur as a job, and then I'm an artist as a hobby. And so I think you saw my art site, which is currently my hobby.
Okay. So, you're a businessman.
Yeah, an entrepreneur. Yeah, I uh, start companies and try and grow them.
Okay. Can you tell me more about it?
Sure. Yeah, I'm on to my second company. My first company was actually a company that was artistic. We did visual effects for television shows in Hollywood. This new company started out of that about 10 years ago, and we use video games and virtual reality to teach people.
Okay. So you are already into the art field.
Yeah, I was an artist growing up. Like as a kid, I did a lot of painting, and I got accepted to go to art school, and I didn't end up going because I figured there wasn't any way to make money in art. So I went to engineering instead, and in the end, I sort of full circle. I ended up in film school and working in art as a visual effects artist, and then uh, ran that company for about 8 years, and then started this company, and I stopped actually doing anything artistic in this company. So um, about a year and a half ago, I started painting again to have some sort of creative outlet, and that's the site that you saw is some of the paintings I've done in the last year and a half.
So why painting and what made you to start painting?
Um, because I did it as a kid. I kind of I like how it's not perfect. When I was in visual effects, everything had to look real, but you had it was computer art, so you had the undo button. You could kind of if something didn't look right, you'd just undo it, or you'd change it. With painting, the brushes, everything is not really it's not perfect. Everything's a little bit wonky and wobbly and blurry, and um, I kind of like that challenge.
So I saw some of your paintings in which a woman is standing and she's holding an umbrella, and what the rain is falling. So it
Yes.
looks so real. It is not looking like you did painting. It is like a print which came out from the printer.
Well, if you saw it close up, you could see that it's very very painting. On the little Instagram boxes, some of the paintings do look almost real,
Yeah.
but yeah, if you saw it close up, you'd see it's uh, the closer you get, the more you can tell it's a painting.
So how many paintings you did and what are those?
Oh, I think I'm up to since I only started painting again a year and a half ago. Um, and I've done most of my paintings during the lockdown in COVID. And so I think I'm up to about 25 paintings now. I don't know the exact number, but I think it's around between 25 and 30. And I sort of done a few series. So the first series was cherry blossoms in Victoria. So Victoria, BC um, is sort of famous for its flowers and its good weather in Canada. And one of the things that happens right now, actually, it's happening again. What happens in March is the cherry trees start to blossom, and it's really a good contrast with the sort of the winter and then the pink um, and even a bigger contrast last year was we were in the middle of COVID lockdown, so the streets were empty. There was no one on the streets, and these cherry blossoms were blooming. And so I did a series of about 5 paintings of different trees around Victoria with with nobody on the streets, just empty. And from there, I did a series. The one that you saw that you were talking about, I did a series of streets at night in the rain around Victoria, and that was very challenging to sort of get that raining effect and that effect of wetness and the streaks of rain and trying to make that look real. But I really liked the contrast of the lights when they reflect in the rain. And so I tried to paint that, and I think I'm up to 4 of those right now, and I'm starting a couple more of the rainy nights until we get into summer, and then I'll switch over to beaches or something.
How much time you take usually to complete one painting?
That's a good question. It depends on the size. I generally paint around, like, I really like the 11 by 14 size, which is not much bigger than your monitor. Those all in, like, I don't paint all in a row. So all in, they probably take between 5 and 6 hours, but over a couple days, because I do have a job that I do during the day. So I kind of paint them on the weekends and at night.
So what makes you to do painting? What inspires you?
Well, the things I see around me inspire me. The weird angles and colors and contrast. Like, I really like geometry. Like, actually, you know what? I do most of my paintings by taking a picture first with a cell phone. And cell phone cameras are like very wide angle. And so when you take a picture with a cell phone camera, you'll see that the lines of a building are kind of stretched out and have really weird perspectives. And
Correct.
most people don't paint that way. So I thought I really like painting from a picture that was taken on a cell phone for that weird perspective and kind of the elongation of the shapes. I actually painted one painting that has a person taking a selfie with a cell phone in a mirror, which I don't think I've seen one of those before. So
every painting of yours has been done using the pictures that you took with your cell phone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I walk, or I go for a run, or I go for a walk down the street, or and I see something that I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I take a picture, and probably 10 of those are nothing, and then one of them, the composition to me looks like it would make a great painting, and then I on my cell phone I just I make it a favorite picture. And then from there, I have like a bunch of favorite pictures, and when I'm ready to paint something new, I pick one of the favorite pictures and paint it.
Okay, so what time you choose?
Sorry, what's that?
At what time you start painting after taking the picture?
What time of day, or what time do I start actually painting?
Yeah, what time of the day?
Usually after work or weekends. So like 4 o'clock on. So evenings or weekends.
So you take pictures in the weekdays and draw it on weekend.
Oh, what time do I take the pictures? Oh, it's very random. It's whenever I'm out for a run or a walk, or going just walking around the city. So the timing is very different. The night ones obviously are at night. The daytime ones are usually, if I'm just running around the city.
When you came to know that you have this talent?
Very young. I started drawing, and actually I have a friend who's a very famous artist, and he told me that everyone can draw. Everyone has drawing and art in them. But what the difference is when you're very young, somebody says, "Oh, that's a very nice picture," or somebody doesn't say anything, and you don't get that feedback. And when you don't get that feedback, you don't continue to practice your art. So young, I drew some fish or whatever that my parents were like, "Oh, that's very good art," and all along people encouraged me, and so I just kept up with the talent. It's really just encouragement when you're young. And I started drawing and then painting. I think I probably started painting, when I was 10, 8, 9, 10, and drawing before that. Like I drew on everything, walls, whatever, coaches.
So What is the difference between the first painting of yours and the last painting of yours?
I started to get a little bit better with detail. The very first painting I did once I started again, I had, you know, 3 primary colors, black and white, and 3 rather large brushes. And so when I painted it, it's a little bit blocky. It's a little bit rough. I wasn't really the techniques and the different techniques. I was very rusty. And I also started a new medium. When I started again about a year and a half ago, I started into acrylics because I don't really have the patience or the time to wait for oil to dry. So there was definitely a steep learning curve between the first and last. The last one has a lot more detail in it. I have a lot more brushes, which are smaller, and I have a few more colors because I found that although I tried to do all my paintings with the primary colors and black and white, I found there's certain colors I just can't mix. Like it's very tough for me to mix a green, a really nice green, a really nice purple, and so I've gone and bought those colors.
What is your favorite one among all of yours?
I think the one that the one on the street with the umbrella, with where you can see the rain. The one that it's called Yates Street. I think that so far is my favorite one, and that's the one that's gotten the most comments and likes on Instagram as well.
Who connected with your creative ideas?
Which?
Who connected with your creative ideas? The creative presentation of yours.
Who connected with it? Who connects with it?
Yeah.
Different people. I think because most of my paintings are of Victoria, I have a very good following of people from Victoria because there's the sentimental and there's that recognition of the different spots. But you know, there's people there's people all over the world that have since connected with the paintings. So even though they are Victoria based, I have had, you know, comments and likes and things from people all over, you know, in Europe and all over the world.
Is there any painting? Is there any visual in your mind which you don't want to paint in your life?
That I don't?
Yeah.
Oh, I never really thought about that. I know that what I would like to do is so I'll turn it into what I like to paint. Uh, when I'm done painting the streets of Victoria, I thought it'd be really cool to travel to different cities and then do small series while I'm there of those cities, because there's so many beautiful cities in the world and you know, with so much character, that I thought that, you know, once I sort of get through, once we're allowed to travel again, and I get through these Victoria paintings, it'd be really neat to kind of go to some new city that I'd never been to, explore, take some pictures, and then paint things that draw my attention in those cities.
Your perspective on visuals are different from other perspectives. What are the other perspectives on your perspective?
The other perspectives on my perspective, I'm not sure. I would say that I definitely work in figurative, so I'm trying to get towards realistic, but not quite there. I like composition. I like to work in thirds, so like pretty standard composition where things happen in the thirds of a painting, and then I like to work in sort of brighter colors if possible, and lots of contrast.
Okay. So, how do you manage both? You are into business and you are doing artwork. How do you have that kind of, to do something which is creative? You need a lot of time.
Well, entrepreneurship is creative. You start something from nothing, and you know, you basically, in entrepreneurship, you learn through failure. So you start, you hopefully have enough money behind you to fail and learn enough to start making money. So it's a very creative process, actually, when you start a company. And actually, that blend of art and engineering, or the blend of art and some discipline, or the blend of creativity and a discipline give you a leg up when it comes to creating something new like that. As the company starts to grow, then it starts to become more, standard process based, where you start to, once you've created something, then you can start to model after other companies, and you can model after other processes in the way that other people do business. But in the very early stage, where you're really just, you have some idea and you're trying to convince someone that this idea is worth purchasing or worth buying, because really all businesses come down to the simple idea that you sell something for more than it cost you to make it. That's a business. Every business is that. What happens in between there, what you're selling, how you're selling it, who you're selling it to, how you're marketing it, how you're creating efficiencies, how you're changing the world. All those things lie within sell something for more than it costs you to make it. So when you're starting something new like that, there's a huge element of creativity that's required. And some of the people that start businesses or start something new are creatives. They may not know it. They may not actually be artists, but they're definitely doing something they're creating something. And so I don't know that there's a big difference between painting and entrepreneurship. I think there's just a skill set. I'm able to use a brush and medium to create art, and that's just a skill set that is also creative.
So you said that in the very early age you started painting. Can I say in a very early age you became an engineer, because the engineering is a creative job?
So I started painting very early, and I also very early got my first computer, a Commodore 64, and when I was a kid, and so back then they didn't come with anything. You'd go down to the store and buy a book, and in that book would be code, and if you copied line for line that code into the computer, you might get a video game, and if it didn't error out. And so that sort of got me into engineering and computers, was having also at an early age having access to a computer, and I knew that I was good at math, and I knew that I was good at sort of with my hands taking things apart, building things. And so when I decided that there was no money to be made in art, engineering was my obvious second choice.
Okay.
And then it turned out that I was actually able to make a career in art later, but I don't know that career existed when I started into school, because visual effects really kind of came of age in the late 90s, early 2000s, where it was a viable career. When I get out of high school in 94, it would have been it wasn't like a big industry at that point.
It looks like you're a deep thinker.
Oh yeah, maybe potentially. I guess I hope so.
So what is the fantastic visual that you saw with your eyes?
That I've seen with my eyes. Many sunsets. I really like painting sunsets. I saw one last December during the summer or the winter solstice in Victoria, here in Victoria, overlooking the ocean. The sky just sort of lit up with just these amazing colors and these amazing patterns. I took a picture with my cell phone, as I do, and then I ended up using that background for a painting. So I really do enjoy sunsets. Actually, even last night, I sat at a friend's patio and we watched a sunset. Yeah, I think big sweeping skies and oceans and landscapes definitely make an impression.
Have you seen Indian visuals?
Have I seen which?
Have you seen Indian visuals?
I think so. I've seen a lot of films, but which exactly?
People, human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd.
Yes. I think so. I've seen. I mean, I think I've seen a lot of visuals from all over the world.
Okay, so what kind of visuals comes into your mind when you sleep?
When I sleep, um, uh, it's not always easy to remember my dreams. I think oceans come a lot. Different interactions that I've had through the week. I've got a pretty good imagination, and so I do, when I remember my dreams, have very vivid dreams. Um, but yeah, nothing, pretty standard things. Nothing too scary.
Have you tried your dreams for painting?
Um, no, actually, no, I haven't. I haven't painted any of my dreams. I think that would probably come into more, like I say, I do figurative, so it's very like I try to move towards realism. I think that dreams, uh, if I was to pick a style for dreams, it would probably be more impressionistic and go for colors and shapes and kind of feelings. It's not a style that I've tried, but I think if I was going to paint a dream, I would probably try and paint a feeling, and then I'd probably try colors and more abstract art, impressionistic.
Okay, so why you're using more your eyes? Why not you use your ears? Music.
Music. I am not so in my family, my brother got the musical skill set. Um, I didn't really get the musical skill set. I've tried guitar. I've tried singing. I've tried all that stuff. Um, and it's probably the exact same as just getting encouragement early, in the same way that art is. And probably if I worked harder at it, I could do. But it didn't come easy, and art came easy. So visual art for sure, not sound art. Not very good at music
What
or
kind of
language, actually.
what kind of environment you maintain to paint something?
Environment.
Yeah.
Enough light. I mean, I actually paint, right here. You just need to have enough light. I usually put music on. Um, yeah, just as long as I can see, and as long as I'm comfortable. Um, it has to for acrylic, the environment has to have a little bit of humidity, or the paint dries very quickly. So if you've got too much electric heat, or you don't sort of have enough moisture in the air, then it can be troublesome. But
You sell your paintings?
not a lot. They're available, but I think I've probably sold 3 so far. So it's a work in progress. I'm trying to get them out there and see what people think. But you know, it's not a business. It's a passion hobby project. Um, but yeah, they are available for sale. But that's not the priority. The priority is really trying to have this. I find that painting is almost meditative. Like, you can sit for 4 hours and sort of look up and go, "Oh, I'm hungry. Like, where did 4 hours go?" And you can do a lot of thinking while you're painting. I even I was taking an online course, and I took about an hour of it, just sort of staring at the course and watching the instructor, who didn't move much. And I wrote the test, and I got like 80 or 90% on that test. And then I took the next module, and I actually painted and listened, and I was painting and listening. And when I took that test, I actually got a higher score. So I think there's some sort of like meditative zone that you can be in when painting, and that's what I use it for.
What is the best compliment that you got for your painting?
Hmm. I don't know word for word, but there's a lot of people that have said some nice things about quite a few of the paintings. Um, yeah, I've gotten a few good comments. I couldn't quote them word for word.
So, do you have anything to say to the world who watches this video from anywhere on this planet?
Oh, I'm excited that it's people all over the planet. that are following you. That's amazing. And what you're trying to do, what I've seen from your other videos, it's great. It's so good. Yeah. How did you come up with the idea?
I just wanted to tell the world that a human being from a particular part of the planet can connect with any human being who's living anywhere on this planet. So that is
For
working,
sure.
and that I came to know that works after doing it. After 6 months, I came to know that okay, this works.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone, once you can get through the language barrier, everyone is very, very similar all over the world, and have similar interests and similar ideas. And have you gotten to travel to any of the places that you've interviewed?
In this year, if everything
No,
goes
not
good,
this year.
yeah, I may come to Vancouver and I meet you.
For sure. If you're ever on the west coast of Canada, yeah, I'll show you around. I'll show you some of where some of the paintings are made.
I will definitely show those paintings directly to my audience again.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you.
Because I already got the ECA from BCIT University. I have done masters in software engineering. So
Oh,
recently I
sweet.
got ECA. Yeah, I got ECA from that, and which my educational standard is equal to Canadian education standard.
Yeah.
So I got a
Well,
job opportunity from Toronto through this video series.
Toronto is there's a lot of opportunity there and a lot of tech going on. I'll put a plug in for the West Coast. In BC, the tech industry is about $21 billion. Lots of games, lots of. I think it's one of the biggest game hubs. I believe it's the largest virtual reality hub in North America.
Yeah,
Lots going on, lots of tech. If you come out, I mean Toronto as well, Waterloo. But if you come out to the West Coast, we've got a big thriving tech industry as well.
I'll be a part of it soon.
Yeah, perfect. That's awesome. Well,
So, about your amazing artwork, do you want to tell anything about your work at
no,
last?
just if you get a chance to take a look at it, enjoy it, and I'm just gonna keep doing it as my hobby. So
Any promotion of yours?
any promotion, no, just if you like it, I'm happy.
So, have you seen any videos of mine on YouTube?
Yeah, I've watched. I went through. Not on. I watched one on YouTube, but the rest of them I looked at the sort of the clips on Instagram. Yeah,
So, what was your feeling?
I think you're a good interviewer. I think it's. I think you're doing a really good job. I wouldn't have signed up to do one if I didn't think that.
Soon, I'm going to do a video with MLA, Vancouver MLA.
Okay,
Yeah, and
today.
soon, maybe next week or in next 2 weeks.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
yeah. So as a fellow engineer, I really respect what you're doing, and I wanted you to do more work, and your contribution. Who get your contribution will be very happy.
No, thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I put this video on video and audio this clip on my YouTube channel, on my social media, on internet, on podcast everywhere with your permission?
Of course, yes. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Keep going, keep doing what you love.
Okay, thank you. You too. And hopefully we'll see you in Vancouver.
Sure, definitely.
Okay. Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thanks.